Born in a small town called Lockney in Floyd County, Texas, my mother was anything but a small town girl. She always had big dreams. She dreamed of becoming a CEO, a boss, a leader. Things like this would not come easily to her, and sometimes her dreams seemed too big for her small town. My mother was born into poverty. Her parents were Mexican-American migrant farm workers who worked long hours for little pay. She would soon join them in the fields, picking fruits and vegetables, fingers laced with pesticides and sweat filling her brow. Eventually, she would have a total of 7 siblings, 5 brothers and 2 sisters. I think this is where motherhood started for my mother. Although she had not borne any children of her own yet, it became her responsibility to look after her family. My mother's family moved several times throughout her childhood. As migrant farm workers, they would need to pick up and move as soon as there was work. My grandparents eventually settled in Wisconsin. After working for years as farm workers, they were able to open up a small Mexican restaurant that would make their dream a reality, something they owned for themselves, somewhere where they could be their own bosses. This new venture proved to be time-consuming and left little time to focus on family. My mother worked as a waitress, busgirl, dishwasher, and cook at the restaurant, along with all of her siblings. All the while, she was still going to school and making sure all of her brothers and sisters were taken care of. I imagine her getting them all ready for school in the morning, making sure they were dressed and had their school bags, making them breakfast and walking them to school, all of them following her in a line like little baby ducks. And all of the chaos that ensued when you are responsible for 7 people, I always wonder how my mother kept a hold of her dreams. But I guess that's just it. I had to ask myself, how could she not keep a hold of her dreams? My mother has always had an admirable determination. Anything she put her mind to, she could do. And she worked to make life better for 7 other people, not just herself. She got this determination from my grandmother. My grandmother fought tirelessly for farm workers' rights in Wisconsin and brought the injustices that many of them faced to light. She was chosen to represent farm workers at many political events and rallies. She gave a voice to people who felt as though they had none. My mother fell in love with a man when she was just 18 years old. They had their first child 2 years later, and once again, my mother's dreams were put on hold. My mother worked so hard to ensure that our family was always taken care of, and she always wanted us to have big hopes and dreams. While my mother was still pregnant with me, she was going back to school at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It was her last semester, and she was honored as an outstanding returning student. My mother walked across the graduation stage 8 months pregnant with me. She obtained her degree in economics and later obtained her MBA. I guess you can say that I was destined to attend the same university, and I did. My 2 beautiful older sisters attended as well. My mother raised 3 strong Latina women who know their roots and know that anything is possible. She showed us this every day. These 2 strong women molded me into the woman and mother I am today. My son is just shy of his 2nd birthday, but I already try to teach him compassion and understanding. I will teach him to stand up for what he believes is right and to give voice to those who do not have one. I will teach him that he truly stands on the shoulders of giants and that we lift him up to be the best person he can be. This lesson has been taught to many generations, and my biggest wish is for him to carry it on and teach it for generations to come.